smoking hot eyes. You want to celebrate too? You will, buddy. You and Olive are gonna make popcorn and hang out. Or we can order pizza and invite Kevin.
Enjoy the
We had a pretty good day. We'll stay up late and let's watch some TV. I'm back by 10. I know.
Of $5,000 in damage to your car. And then we saw these people on the news doing a report afterwards, and they're doing the facing away from the camera. So like the camera has their backs. They don't even want their identities out there because of this mob and who might retaliate.
Exactly. And what you said was exactly true. Like the looting, the street takeovers, the burning down of the businesses, like all this general aggression, it all has like an anti-white sentiment to it.
Of course. It's all
Where
one thing.
It's all like that same like resentment and like a class struggle. And it's very ugly and getting worse, especially into the election.
Yep.
Let's go to the fight at the airport next.
Yeah, this is at O'Hare, my hometown airport.
Oh, Chicago, that toddling town. Look at this trash.
We want to pay specific attention to the white people trying to break up this fight. Yeah. This guy in the tan in the back is just trying to go like, guys, please, no.
So this is something that you just can't get involved in. If you're someone who's like innocent and needs help, like I got you. But if it's this, it's like I'm just not even looking. I'm just getting my people out.
Yeah.
Hey, you see you guys fighting. Does anyone here know what 3 times 3 times 3 is? No.
You don't even have to ask it in the mob situation.
So someone goes 9, and it's like,
all right,
we're out. And then I just completely get out. And yeah, you can't get involved because you want to. If you're like a nice guy, you want to help the innocent. Or if like a woman gets punched or something, you have to go stand up for her. But if it's a situation like that and no one knows math, I am not involved.
It's the Wild Wild West, and it's like that's kind of like Animal Kingdom behavior. And it's like when the group is fighting, like I'm retreating. I have nothing to do with this. I don't fight in an airport. It would never cross my mind. You know.
Exactly.
And they're at baggage claim. Do you think they just got home from a vacation?
I don't know.
Well, if you're in baggage claim in Chicago, I'm guessing that means you just got home, right?
From a Spirit Airlines flight.
From a Spirit Airlines flight to maybe a tropical destination. So you went,
Fort Lauderdale.
you relaxed, you had a good time, and now it's as soon as you get home, it's time to fight at baggage claim.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
And my 3 times 3 times 3 rule isn't really discriminatory, is that the right word?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be rich to know math. You just need to have parents that care. So it's like there's plenty of poor Chinese kids that have no money, but the kid knows math and becomes doctor.
Yeah, the parents run a restaurant and they slave. They work 18 hours a day to put you through school.
You become doctor.
Yep.
And that happens all the time. So it's like if you don't know 3 times 3 times 3, it's like no one sat you down and said, "Hey, math is important." Maybe I don't even know it that good, but I know you need to know it. Or, hey, let's read a book for an hour every night. So it's not like a rich thing. It's just like a parents that care thing. And if you have just really bad parents, you're going to have really bad kids. And then those really bad kids are going to do really bad things. And I just can't be involved in that because I had good parents.
Yeah. My parents, for me, I don't fight at the airport. Period. Yeah. It's not really even an option. It never crosses my mind. Someone could say, like we've said this before, someone could say the most insulting shit on earth and be like, okay, my Uber's here. Yeah. I really have to go. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good luck with that.
Goodbye.
Exactly.
And these people want to bring you down to their level. They want you fighting in the airport. They want you, like, yelling, fuck you, motherfucker. And it's like, do not, obviously, our show watchers, nobody's going to do anything like that. But don't even try to help. Let them sort it out.
Yeah, if you can't do 3 times 3 times 3, that's what you get. You get this chaos.
Yep.
All right, really quick Jordan Neely update. His uncle, who was trying to collect all the GoFundMe money, was arrested the other day for having stolen credit cards.
Yeah, the uncle, who never helped Jordan Neely while he was having schizophrenic meltdowns on the street, is now in the news. He and actually it's hilarious because he called for no plea deal for Daniel Penny over Subway chokehold. And he was arrested in NYC after being caught with knife and several stolen credit cards. So let me just read this, actually, because this is pretty funny, the situation. Christopher Neely was arrested Monday night after running away from a police pickpocket team that confronted him at the Port Authority bus terminal. So there's like a incognito pickpocket team who's looking for exactly people like him.
At least they have that.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a good step, but I'm sure it's undermanned and
They probably let him go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so he was wanted for a string of larcenies in Manhattan when he was approached. After police caught up with him, Neely was found with several credit card and debit card bearing other people's names, including at least one that was reportedly stolen during a prior pickpocket. He was also carrying a gravity knife. I don't know what a gravity knife is. Is that like a springy one?
Probably.
Sources say police charged Neely with criminal possession of stolen property, resisting arrest, bail jumping. So he was out on bail during that, and unlawful possession of a weapon. So just overall good guys in that family.
Yeah,
you know?
another astronaut locked up.
Yeah.
Another astrophysicist off the streets.
We'll never know what he could have accomplished, but
It's interesting that pretty much every single like BLM type of thing that the progressives rally around is like a hoax.
I know.
George Floyd, this guy, every single one is just a hoax that you have to be a moron with your head in the sand to believe.
Yeah.
And all it is just going against the straight white Christian males. You know, like that's like the fun. Oh, white people are saying that he actually wasn't a good guy and was being aggressive on the subway. But it's like, I don't want to listen to white people. Another black man's dead.
Yep.
Like, that's how stupid their thought process is, all the progressives.
It's sad.
Well,
It's ugly.
let's see here. Let's move on. I have an interesting point. You know, reparations are important.
Yeah.
And you know how, like, going into the elections, like, reparations are demanded, and then the Democrats kind of promise them, but then always don't deliver, and they just basically string along.
It's a carrot. The carrot and the stick,
It's
right?
a carrot and the stick, and they're stringing along, like, the black population with this, like, hope of reparations.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't one make the argument that black people owe everyone else reparations because of the crime and violence and stolen bikes? Couldn't one make that argument, Richard?
I think one could make that argument.
I'm not saying it's me.
I wouldn't make that argument right now on the show, but I could see a pathway to victory
Where one could make that argument.
for reverse
It
reparations.
should be reverse reparations, one could say.
Yeah, and also I think I saw someone tweeting about this, but I think BLM, the organization BLM, is going bankrupt already. Like they had huge losses, they misspent the money. They're on the teetering on the verge of bankruptcy. So I think that's already like giving us a case study on how reparations might go.
Yeah,
Like that was within 2 years, we're back to bankruptcy time.
exactly.
So
I'm sure they'll find a way to get some BLM donations before 24.
you think
24
so?
election. I'm sure they'll find a way to ramp it back up.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. The two.
Well, hold on. I will say, and Daniel Penny, is it?
Penny.
Daniel Penny, apologies to Daniel. That was the first time I've ever seen his GoFundMe way outperformed the victims'
Yeah,
GoFundMe. So
that was great to see.
It's like the tides are turning, boycotts are working, Bud Light is fucked, his GoFundMe's fatter. You know, like people are really sick. There are little signs ticking up and around where people are really sick.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on. The gay guy in San Francisco gets killed by two black people, and he's not. They weren't charged because they're too dumb.
Yeah, so
Just interesting.
it's a man and a woman. Two blacks rob and murder a gay white man in Twin Peaks, SF. And yesterday they got a mistrial because they argued the shooter was low IQ and high on opioids. They even stipulated they shot the man, so they admitted it in court, right? They added that Miss DeCure, who is the sidekick, had a low IQ, a lack of adaptive functioning, and suffers from stress and anxiety. As a consequence, they said she did not act consciously when firing the gun.
Yeah, and then another quote was they weren't moving with convincing thought.
Yeah.
So it's like
And the jury was deadlocked. They're going to go to trial again. So we're not
Yeah.
saying like this, they
they're
got
let
away
off,
with it.
Yeah,
But
like this mistrial happened, and the argument is their IQ was too low to understand what they're doing. So like they're too dumb to be sent to jail. But isn't that who should be sent to jail?
yes.
People who murdered someone, and the reason they did was because they're too dumb to control themselves.
Yes.
That's who should go to jail.
And so a couple little facts here about the case. This guy was 71 years old when he was murdered. And he was a photographer and a passionate guy. Like, you know, we do bits on the gay stuff and the gay culture. We have no problem with this guy who's a gay man. You know what I mean? He didn't deserve to die. He's a normal person. or close enough to normal. But so they were
He's normal adjacent.
so they were smart enough to target an old man who can't defend himself, 71 years old. They're smart enough to recognize the value in a camera that they're looking to flip and sell for opioids. But when and they're smart enough to know bullet fire gun go boom. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the trial,
They're so stupid.
I didn't even know what was going on. I couldn't see anything.
That's a good point. They're smart enough to know they were stealing a high value item
and target a guy who
target a guy who's older and
can't
weaker.
fight back. So it's like, and exactly these dumb, like, there's always some sort of sob story like he had a 60 IQ and was executed when he barely even knew what was going on. It's like, why did he need to be alive if he's prone to violence and a 60 IQ? That sounds like a recipe for someone who will kill at the drop of a dime, you know?
Yeah, that's who should be locked up.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think Mimetic Sisyphus was tweeting about this. He said the only time the left considers IQ is when they're letting criminals out of jail. Other times it's like, no.
You can't say IQ.
You can't say there are IQ differences between populations, between people, between anything. IQ doesn't matter when you're trying to get a job, right? We can, but the only time it matters is when they want to let someone, a violent criminal, out of jail.
Yep, exactly. All right, moving on. There was a person, we're still in Urban Decay. There was a person who said that we're talking about gun crime, how all the red states are the ones that actually have the highest gun crime.
Yeah.
So what's the original tweet?
They said they have Republicans in charge of their states and their gun laws. The crime rate is higher in red cities. And she lists this thing of St. Louis, Mobile, Birmingham, Baltimore, Memphis, Detroit, Cleveland, New Orleans, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, Little Rock, Oakland.
Oh, yeah. Red New Orleans, red Baton Rouge, red Oakland.
Red.
And then it's interesting because
we'll show this in the background, but it just lists everyone's a Democrat.
Exactly. So basically, it's like what the gaslighting claim is. Oh, red states are actually the ones with all the gun problems, and then they list all those cities, which are clearly not red cities. And why isn't the crime happening anywhere besides those cities? Shouldn't it be happening all over the state? It's just happening in Baton Rouge and Oakland.
All those Trump voters.
All those, MAGA country over there. But the real problem is the blue Democrat DAs and the Democrat mayors.
Of course.
So here in the background, we have every city that's mentioned, and it's basically every single one is a Democrat. The DA is Democrat. It's a lot of times George Soros backed, and then the mayor is Democrat. And that's why the gun crimes are so high, because they let the criminals go and they don't enforce the law. But they try to gaslight us and say it's red states that are the problem.
It's a very consistent thing that the left tries to do is own the South. They're like, well, look at this map of who can't read and who's violent. And it's like the South. And it's like, oh, you kind of just said black people. But you didn't know it, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's who's there.
Yeah, red cities, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been to Baton Rouge.
Let's go check out the jail in Baton Rouge.
All those white guys.
See what the dynamics are. So it's kind of like a cell phone, but they ignore it. They don't listen to the criticism of the cell phone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
All right, moving on. There was a black Jamaican woman who had some things to say about American blacks that came to stay at her Airbnb.
People stay here, I have Jamaican people stay here, I have white people stay here, I have Spanish people stay here, and I have black Americans stay here. I'm not saying not all black Americans are bad, but the ones that came to my place have been nothing but problem. Only 2 good ones came here, not all of them. Fight late at night, not with me, with each other. They're disrespectful, they're entitled, they're unappreciative. And it is that way because America has spoiled them and give them so much free shit. Where they think they could come to Jamaica and get the same free shit out here and be nasty about it. I'm not saying all of you are like that. But because of that, I'm not risking my health and my happiness for people. No short-term stay. No short-term stay. It's not going to happen.
Interesting. Isn't it interesting that any critique of black population, in order to be received properly or can be said without saying, oh, you're racist, has to come from a black person? You have to launder it through this lady?
Yeah.
You have to launder it through a black person to say a criticism of an entire population.
Yeah, you can't notice the pattern on your own, but once she does, you can go, oh, okay, that's plausible.
Yeah.
Which is actually funny because Do you want to go to the Ann Coulter
Yeah,
thing?
Ann Coulter had a funny tweet too.
Ann Coulter said NAACP issues warning to African Americans to avoid visiting Florida. Employees in restaurants and tourism industry brace for a 0% drop in tips. So she's just saying like the old trope that black people don't tip well,
Yeah.
which is like a common thing. Like that's, you talk about servers, whatever. And so I was looking at this. Somebody posted Ann Coulter's tweet on Reddit being like, oh, she's just outright racist now.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that a lot of the Reddit comments were like, she cooked us on this one. And they were like, I agree. But a lot of the comments were exactly what you said. People were being like, I worked with a black server waiting tables. He used to call the tables of black people grenades because they'd blow up in your face. And it was all laundered through a black person's opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You had to launder it.
And so, I don't know. Who's a waiter? Any waiters or waitresses here? Did anybody have an experience? Who was the worst tippers? I don't know. I've never been a waiter.
Maybe.
But I've heard a lot,
yeah,
you know?
I've heard this a million times, but it's like I'm thinking, if I'm like thinking like Tariq Nasheed, right?
Yeah,
And I'm
suspected white supremacist Austin Fleckus.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like Tariq Nasheed. Maybe I would think that black people are actually good tippers, but all the staff thinks they're bad tippers because of like a racist stereotype. And then they avoid those tables and don't do as good of service on those tables because they think they're bad tippers. And then they end up being badly tipped because of that bad service.
It's a self-fulfilling.
It's a self-fulfilling thing. It's a preconceived notion. It's a stereotype that ain't true. And then you act like it is true, and then you end up doing bad service, and then you get a bad tip and go, oh, see, I was right. That's how Tariq Nasheed would probably explain it.
Yeah, he'd frame it really well. Really educated.
Yeah, exactly. All right, last piece of Urban Decay. The man trap. The guy tries to sets a man trap, which is probably illegal to do. This is not in America, I don't think.
It's Australia, it sounds like. This guy coming up to a jet ski, eh? He goes, oh, I could use this jet ski. I could take it for myself. No one's protecting it.
And he falls in the man trap. But here in America...
He goes, oh, my fucking knee!
Here in America, that guy gets let go, and then the person who set the man trap is probably going to go to jail.
Oh, for sure.
You can't
For
do
sure.
that, you know? It's like, imagine explaining to your grandfather who fought in a war why you can't.
You can't man trap
Someone stealing your property.
Yeah.
Imagine explaining that. Well, we can't get too depressed. We can't get too down. Let's move on to some uplifting gold. We have great uplifting gold that's going to make everybody happy. I think we're still on schedule.
Do you?
Well, we cut some stuff, but that's
Okay.
going to be in Bonus Land, which is going to be on Pulse Plus in just a few minutes after this.
Immediately after the
So
show.
sign up for Pulse Plus, support us. It'll go a long way. All right.
Thank you.
Let's get into the guy riding the bike. The dog smells the pole. Praying he doesn't stop to smell the pole. He's got completely wrecked. You shouldn't be riding with the dog like that if you don't know how he's going to handle it.
You tied the leash to a handle that can just go like this to you, not
Yeah.
your seat or anything like that you might be able to save yourself with.
Just yank the dog.
Again, people are dumber than you think.
Pretty much everyone's stupid. All right, the Golden Singers. This is uplifting gold in a more literal sense. That's good. That's just gold because they're covered in gold paint.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You get it?
Obvious uplifting gold. And it's actually down low gold. It's downlifting gold because they're so small.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think to judge them on their size. All right, kids saved by the Empire in the tornado.
Yeah, this is a near-death experience.
This is uplifting.
Little dirt devil. The umpire saves him.
That's uplifting. That's Americana. A little dust bowl at the baseball game.
Good for the ump.
Yep. Speaking of baseball, did you know that there's male softball leagues that are really competitive?
No, I had no idea, actually, before you sent me these.
So neither did I. And I'm an athletic guy. I played college football, so did Richie Rapway. I can throw a football 55 yards from my knees. From my knees. Done that on camera. Those who know. I'm athletic, right? Mm-hmm. I want no part of whatever this softball thing is.
You want the hitting guy?
Yeah. It's called the hot corner. Look at this.
Jeez.
Last minute.
Boom.
Just whipping it.
You and I have to keep Dad out of the house until 4:30. Winkies.
I want nothing to do with that. There's a guy pitching too.
Pitching underhand.
Stupid. All right, the Golden Singers. This is uplifting gold in a more literal sense. That's good. That's just gold because they're covered in gold paint.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You get it?
Obvious uplifting gold. And it's actually down low gold. It's downlifting gold because they're so small.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think to judge them on their size. All right, kids saved by the Empire in the tornado.
Yeah, this is a near-death experience.
This is uplifting.
Little dirt devil. The umpire saves him.
That's uplifting. That's Americana. A little dust bowl at the baseball game.
Good for the ump.
Yep. Speaking of baseball, did you know that there's male softball leagues that are really competitive?
No, I had no idea, actually, before you sent me these.
So neither did I. And I'm an athletic guy. I played college football, so did Richard Ratboy. I can throw a football 55 yards from my knees. From my knees. Done that on camera. Those who know, know. I'm athletic, right? Mm-hmm. I want no part of whatever this softball thing is.
You want the hitting guy?
Yeah. It's called the hot corner. Look at this.
Can I screen that?
Jeez. Boom.
Just whipping it. I want nothing to do with that. There's a guy pitching too.
Pitching underhand.
Look at this. Nothing to do with that. Zero interest in playing softball like that. All right, let's move on.
I get it.
You get it, right?
Yeah.
I just never saw anything like that.
It's fast.
Guy changes the light bulbs in the tower.
Yeah, this is a video that goes viral once every 6 months.
Yeah, we have no audio for it because of copyright reasons, but this guy climbs this tower once every 6 months. He's paid $20,000 per climb. And he changes the bulb at the top. If I did that, I would just jump off and parachute off, I think.
Ooh.
I would go up, change the bulb, parachute off.
This is a good gig. 20K? Come on, man. And all he does is he has two little harnesses that he hooks on.
This is the hard part. Yeah, it gets sketchy at the top. Why don't they just do a ladder all the way up?
And here he goes. Imagine he drops the bulb. Takes a selfie.
Look at that, though.
Oh, they got the drone up.
I don't like that. But imagine just jumping off at the end and just parachuting. That'd be so much easier.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah. Kid crashes.
You've thought about this a lot,
Yeah.
clearly.
Kid crashes car with dad.
This video, it's an uplifting gold, but it made me furious for some reason.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, good guess. Straight. No, no! Sorry. It's alright. It's no problem.
It's all right. That's just what happens when you teach your kid to drive sometimes. If you got a little spaz kid who's got glasses.
Yeah, I don't know. That made me mad. The kid didn't even care. And then the dad should have been mad. I don't know.
Yeah.
The dynamics felt fake to me. Like, I didn't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. I can't relate to that.
Exactly. I can't relate to that at all.
But it's nice that the dad didn't care and everyone's safe and you learn how to drive. There's some, learning curve to it. But
Sure, but I guess
can't relate.
I can't relate. And I guess you also found out your son does not have that dog in him.
Yeah, he's not really athletic. He's got those goofy glasses.
So,
I was easy to train to drive the car.
yeah.
I was very good at it. I was merging in traffic. I knew how to do everything. Like I said, I was very athletic. All right, the girl who says when for the cheese. This is probably my favorite clip.
Okay, you tell me when, all right?
Yeah. Stop.
Straight into your water? Absolutely, ma'am. You got it. Tell me when.
Stop. Straight into my mouth.
Oh, why certainly. Is that enough, ma'am? Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, all right. We're
Isn't
doing
that
bits.
nice?
Olive Garden lady plays in the game.
Yeah, that's nice uplifting stuff.
I like that.
Don't get too depressed about all the crime and the people getting pushed in front of the subways or whatever.
And how dumb most of society is now, and how even the college professors are idiots, and people with low IQs are demanding $3 million just for nothing, and all that weird stuff that's going on in the world.
Yeah, college is $70,000 a year, and no one knows anything.
And the professor's a criminal, and she threatens people with machetes and needs to go to jail and has court dates and stuff. Just don't worry about that. Don't focus on that too much.
Yeah, don't focus on that. All right, last one, the Kid Rodeo.
Oh yeah,
Last clip.
true uplifting here. 4 years old.
Oh, come on, he came here to support. Pump it up,
There we go. Isn't that nice? Isn't that uplifting?
That's a good activity.
All right. Well, that's the end of the episode. As always, not as always, but as of the last few weeks, we're going to shout out a small business.
Yeah.
This week, we are shouting out Cox. What's it called?
Cox Custom Rugs.
Cox Custom Rugs. They made an awesome Fleckus Talks rug for us, as you can see here in the background. It looks very cool. It has been sent to us. It's on its way. It looks awesome. They did it for free. They like us. So check them out. Follow them on Instagram. They're linked in the description. Order a custom rug if you're in the market for a custom rug. They do a great job. It's super high quality. They're America First based patriotic people who aren't going to make a transgender rug.
Yeah, they approached us. Like, they liked the show. They were like, hey, can I make a rug for you guys?
Yeah.
So follow them on Instagram and, maybe get a rug. I don't know, get a rug.
Follow them on Instagram, get a rug, comment on their posts, engage. Check them out. You'll like it. Get some cool custom rugs. They're friends of the show. It's our network. It's our community. You guys should support them. They support us. And then also, if you have a small business that wants a shout out, email zach@fleckistalks.com. ZACH@fleckistalks.com. Send us about a little blurb about your business. Tell us what you guys make. If you guys are able to send us a product like the custom rug, that would be cool. Maybe have to send 2 because Richard Rapboy gets mad when I take all the products if we get 1. And we'll shout you guys out and we'll show your product. We'll do this at the end of the show every week. It's kind of a cool little thing. And then also make sure you guys join Pulse Plus. We're going to have Bonus Land coming out in just a few minutes. So if you join Pulse Plus, you can go get Bonus Land after hours footage content right now on fleckistalks.com. Go there today. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at the next one.
And then some of us got this vision. We just knew we had to go to the plane. He wouldn't let us. The next day, they told us the plane was exploded. And then everything changed. Crazy experiments.
All right, welcome back to Fleckis Talks, the podcast, episode 58. Today on the show, we have a Trump versus DeSantis.
Enjoy the $5,000 in damage to your car.
Crack head back in the ground and pretend it's not happening because I'm going in now, even if you're not.
These people are heavily armed. Why take that kind of risk?
Because my son is channeling the pain from one of the missing passengers.
How is that even possible?
How is any of this possible?
As soon as the experiment starts, Cal will fuel that torture. There is nothing I won't do to protect my son. We have to go now.
We're ready, sir.
Is everyone on?
Ding, 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 Bonus Land.
Hey, what's up? Sorry,
Welcome
I'm
to.
looking at
What are you looking at?
looking at some. It's personal.
Oh.
It's personal, but
Sorry to interrupt you.
there's some beef going on, but nothing major.
Is it involved me?
Nope, doesn't involve any of us. That's why I'm smiling and laughing at it instead of.
All
being like-
right. Bonus Land. Welcome to Bonus Land, everybody. We have a big announcement before we get into anything in Bonus Land. We have been in contact with Obviously, Sam Britton, everyone knows, the luggage twink who steals all the luggage and wears the clothes like a sick fuck.
Yep. We're obsessed. We're obsessed with him. The story,
course.
like, we hated him first. We knew there was something wrong with him, obviously.
Yep,
And
exactly.
he delivered.
We've been obsessed with him, and we've been covering him, I think, the most of anybody, right?
Quite possibly.
We have been in touch with, he got arrested 3 times. We're not going to say who. We're not going to dox anybody. We've been in touch with one of his arresting officers, and we have purchased handcuffs that were used to arrest Sam Britton.
Game-worn handcuffs to execute the arrest of the Biden luggage twink.
And
Branded
we
by
have
us.
it. And it's sent to us. It's going to be here tomorrow. It arrives. Guys, that's next level.
There's memorabilia, and then there's schizo, twisted, your own personal, like, make the world around you memorabilia, and this definitely fits in the latter.
Yeah, it's that for sure. It's like a scalp. It's like a cultural scalp. It's like, oh, the Yankees versus the Red Sox. This is
I got Babe Ruth's jersey.
Well, it's
Like,
got blood on it. Like, that's cool.
the bloody
you know?
sock from Kurt Schilling's game when he pitched up for the Braves.
We have the handcuffs that arrested Sam Britton, the luggage twink, being sent to us in the mail because the guy who arrested him is a Fleckus fan show watcher.
Yeah, or I don't know if you want to say that, but if we have ties to it. I don't know if they're a friend. Who could it be? We don't know.
We
It's
don't know
It's
who
nobody,
it is.
but it's somebody.
It's
but they're
nobody.
game worn. We got proof on our end that they're game worn. So that,
Authenticity
Yeah.
certified.
we might have to send them into PSA or whoever grades the baseball cards. Be like, can you verify these Sam Britton twink gloves?
Yeah, so
or
that's very
handcuffs?
exciting. That's coming. We'll show you guys next week on the show. If you're watching on Pulse Plus, thank you for jumping over. We appreciate it. If you're watching on Patreon, we still love you, but we really, 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 really would like you to join Pulse Plus. If you're going to eventually join anyway and you want to continue to see the Bonus Land content, please hop over. If we get 2,500 signups, we're going to do the show twice a week publicly.
Yep.
We're also going to expand the Bonus Land content, so this Bonus Land episode will be available on Pulse Plus right after the show on Fridays as like an after hours type of thing. And then we're also going to be doing, starting next month, mailbags where we answer questions from the audience. Richard Rapoy and I, John Doyle and I, me, Gavin McGinnis and I, people like that will be doing mailbags. That comes out on Sundays. So if you're thinking about joining Pulse Plus and you're already on Patreon and you're not fully sure and you're mad that the price is up a little bit, the price is up a little bit, but it was $2 for a while, and that was a low price.
Yeah, and it was $2. I mean, I
guys
get
like
it.
us.
I get it, though. You know,
Yeah, me
it's,
too.
It's a price increase, and we signed a deal. You know, it's like this is going to help us. We're going to create documentaries. It's going to give us funding to go to the. It's going to give us funding to go twice a week. You know,
Yeah.
like things that we otherwise probably couldn't do or would have a hard time doing. So, I mean,
This is how we expand the show.
plus Raheem, plus Bannon. You know,
Steve Bannon and Raheem Kassam, those are the two names. Like, that's huge, right? We teased you with Bannon last week. We didn't tell you Bannon. Steve Bannon joined the Pulse Plus as well. Guys, that's huge. That's like a very based America First network. It's not like we're joining like Fox Nation or
Yeah.
some cheesy outlet that isn't based at all.
We're building out the infrastructure to host our own videos, so it's like uncancelable stuff. We can talk about things that we may otherwise not have talked about. Patreon has canceled people
Yep.
way less than us. You know what I mean? Like
course. Mm-hmm.
lower than us. So, you
Grow
know,
with us, guys. Come with us. If you don't want to, we understand. You don't like me that much.
I guess that's it. Yeah.
That's okay, and that's okay. But if you guys know me, you know I've been in the game since 2017, basically 2016. We've done content for free forever. You guys know the Man in the Street videos, the podcast as well. And now we're finally getting the chance to expand. We've turned down offers from everybody for years. Blaze, everybody. It's just like we're not taking deals. We finally found a place that matches us. It's going from $4 to $7.50 a month. It's a little
Yep.
bit more, but you could also go to Disney and buy a waffle for $40.
Yeah. You can go to any bar and a single beer is $7.50. You know,
We're not going to say it's cheap and but
Yeah.
it's $7.50.
I know.
It's $7.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
So $7.50, you round down, it's $7. It's basically a coffee. And we were talking about how I don't know if we want to get into this, but people get weird with that sort of thing where it's like $80 Uber somewhere, or to the airport, or ads every 10 minutes or something, and they go, okay, skip. But it's like as soon as it's paid, it gets a little greasy. So we thank you for all of you who have joined, and we hope more.
We hope you come over. It's $7 and change. It's me and Richard Ratboy, Raheem Kassam, Steve Bannon. We're going to double the output of Bonus Land, basically. We're going to double the output of the public episodes as well, but we can only do it if you guys join. FleckisTalks.com is the website. Please transfer over. Once you do, cancel your Patreon. We're going to keep it going on both for the month of June. But then once after we come back from our July 4th holiday or whatever, we're going twice a week on public and then twice a week on paywall. So join us, guys. We're expanding. This is all we ever hoped for and asked for, so expand with us.
Yeah, and we want to go twice a week. Like, we were going through this episode trying to speed through. Like, there's so many things happening and so many events that we want to cover and do our funny bit on. So we want to go twice a week. So
exactly. All right, let's get into some good action. Guys, please join FleckisTalks.com. Please transfer over and cancel your Patreon. Love you guys. No pressure. Please do it.
Thank you for the support.
Biden's monkeypox guy.
Yeah, the twink.
Remember that twink from the Biden administration who was the big monkeypox representative and was wearing like leather daddy clothes?
They called him the monkeypox czar.
Yeah. So there was a pharmaceutical conference in Las Vegas.
It was an HIV conference.
An HIV conference in Las Vegas. And this is how this guy showed up. So that's how he enters, the Biden official, how he enters the conference to give a speech. I thought that was like a drag brunch type of thing.
No, that's a medical conference for HIV people. So I guess they're over the target.
Yeah.
It does kind of make sense. Imagine going to like a bachelor party in Vegas and you're like, whoa, we just got here, boys weekend. We're going to gamble. We're going to do this. And then it's like, what the fuck?
It's AIDS weekend.
It's AIDS weekend. It's HIV conference weekend. So yeah, and that guy's like a Satanist. He loves Target. He loves all that shit.
He loves Target, openly a Satanist.
So,
you know how we talked about that girl from a couple weeks ago on the episode on the podcast that was too fat to fly?
Yeah.
She was like too fat to fly. I was thinking, how do we find like a middle ground so people can know if they're too fat to fly or not?
Mm-hmm.
You know how you put like your carry-on bag in the box and it's if it fits, you can carry it on?
Yeah, 100%.
We can kind of I was thinking we should kind of do one of those, but it wouldn't be like, we couldn't just say like, oh, anyone who's 300 pounds or over can't fly, because there's some women who are 300 pounds and over and are too fat to fly.
Yeah.
But there's also some men
who are dense and muscle bound.
Who are 300 who can fly.
Yeah.
We know some people. Who are not yet too fat to fly.
Exactly. Yep. lay it on Rat Boy.
So imagine like a water displacement test.
Oh.
Where you kind of like submerge the individual and then how much water. Is that the best way to decide if they're too fat to fly? Is that sound scientifically?
Yeah, because there's density and then there's volume. And so the water displacement is your volume. So your total area that you take up. You know what I mean?
Which is important. So I think we kind of cracked something there.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm onto something.
Yeah. Do you want to play this, Fat Girl? It just seems like we've been seeing way and way more like fat rights content.
Yeah.
It's funny because there are people like us, right? Mm-hmm. Who all we're doing is like fighting for what we had 20 years ago. All we're doing is fighting for like what this country was founded on. Like, and then it seems like every other group, no matter what, self-inflicted, if it's a choice, like you're fat, you're 400 pounds and it's a choice you continuously eat. Mm-hmm. You're gay, you're black, you're Latino, you're whatever. Everyone's just got complaints. And then so the fat people are like, now's our chance. It's a complainer's world right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So they're kind of getting out there more. And like, let's just play this. They're posting their own content. At my favorite restaurant, they let me use the wheelchair elevator.
That hoists her up so she can feed.
So she can feed at the restaurant she likes to go to. And it says, caution, do not open manually. No freight, passengers only. And it's like, I think she counts as freight. Look at her, she's outside of the restaurant.
And then now she can feed. I'm here to feed.
Oh my God,
She's
man.
gonna slurp it up.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
They're asking for rights. They want planes rebuilt for them.
Yeah.
So-
Everything is just like how much of a victim are you? And then it's like if you check any boxes, then it's like you have more rights than everyone else.
Time to start fighting for them and
Yeah.
getting loud.
You
You
get
know?
more rights, which is crazy. It should be everyone gets equal. Can we play the bugs in the sink? This is supposed to be in the main episode. We never got to it.
Sure.
This is so disgusting, guys. What if that thing wasn't there? Every night your house just...
A 50 piece of cockroaches comes through your sink. You can't defend against the sink.
Look at that. I just want to burn, like light it on fire.
Yeah. Would you, what would you do if that happened in the place you were living? Move immediately? Torch the house?
I would really make my landlord, building manager, or whatever that is. I'm not going to. They're there.
Call them every hour on
And
the
they're,
hour.
yeah, they're there until that's gone.
Yeah.
Or I would probably just move out and get an Airbnb immediately, which I would make them pay for, and then I would want all my rent that I've paid given back to me.
You'd cause a scene. You'd
Yeah,
cause a scene.
it'd be over.
rightfully.
It'd be over. Oh, that's so disgusting. I think I told this story once, but I knew a person in LA who's like, "Oh, there's a lot of roaches in my house." Haha. And like, "Oh, me too." Haha. And then this one girl showed a picture. Like, "Oh, I have them bad," and it was like from far away of her kitchen, and you see like an oil spot looking thing, like a little black puddle. And then you zoom in, and it was just a pile of roaches like this big, like that, just to the point where you couldn't even see the floor. It was like an oil spot. So disgusting. And she said, "Oh, every night they come out."
Makes
so
me sick.
bad.
Makes me sick.
Okay, let's move on. iDubbbz. This is kind of like an internet person. I don't know if you guys are in the streamer world or know who iDubbbz is. iDubbbz is like a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of like Ethan Klein, where he used to say whatever he wanted, and then he gained his audience, but then kind of became like a cuck pussy.
Yeah.
And then now is
Corporate, like got a couple of corporate sponsorships,
Yeah.
got an OnlyFans girlfriend who's
Yeah.
like a clear leftist.
leftist OnlyFans girlfriend. He's not doing what he was doing originally to gain his audience. He's just kind of like sold out and became a pussy. So
He grew with the times, you know, like they have
Yeah.
their PR spin. He's like, I saw the error in my ways, basically.
exactly. So he saw the error in his ways, and one of the things he used to do back on his live streams on his YouTube was he would say N-word, F-word, N-I-G whatever, and then F-A-G-G-O-T. N-word, F-word. That was his little like, oh, you're an N-word, F-word. And that was like his thing. And now he's apologizing for that because his girlfriend pretty much is making him apologize, it seems like. And he's raising money for a charity. And the quote that he put was, "I'm raising money for a charity for those affected by my evil words," or whatever.
By his rhetoric, whatever you wanted to
And
call
the
it.
charity is a black trans. So he's basically calling black trans people the N-word, F-word. He's saying those affected. It's like you're
The
saying
people
that.
I targeted. So he's still acknowledging that they are that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not allowed to say it anymore. We're going to give him money, but we're going to give the N-word, F-word some money.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you thinking? And
Yeah.
I was thinking about this too. Like, clearly his girlfriend made him apologize and like made him like a soft man.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say never listen to women. That's like a stupid thing. You always consider people's opinions. But like, I think men should have like a legion of other men in their inner circle that they bounce ideas off of. Like if I'm like, "Hey, Richard Rapway, should I apologize to Joe for what I said? You think I was too harsh?" Richard Rapway would go, "Nah, you were all good. You know, he's just overreacting." Or Richard Rapway might say, "Yeah, you should. You kind of crossed the line." And I'll analyze with my inner circle of men, and then I'll go decide, should I apologize or not?
Yeah.
But if you ask your girlfriend, should I apologize to Joe for what I said? They'll go, "Yeah, I think you should. Yeah, you know, you were mean." And they'll give you like a soft answer that isn't in your best interest. So it's like, that's kind of what's happening here. And it's just like men just need an inner circle of other men that they trust who they can reasonably bounce their ideas off of. And if they come to a conclusion or a consensus with that group of men, then there's your answer. I will apologize. I did cross the line. My boys agreed. I'm going to go apologize. If you ask a girl, they'll just do the feel-good answer. "Yeah, you should apologize." Yeah, you know? And it's not as good.
And I think there's a trend as well of like almost not shaming, like it doesn't come from us or, but there's almost like a shaming of like having a crew of guy friends who you still counsel with and whatever. It's like, what are you guys, gay? It's like, no, like, what do you mean? It's my boy. Like we talk. It's like one of my most trusted friends sources ever. I want to talk to him. I value his opinion. Like there's kind of like almost like you should be alone and suffer and do your own thing. And it's like, dude, hell no. Especially in today's age, like if you have a group of guys who want to come with you and confront someone or like do something like that, it's like you can't do it by yourself. You know what I mean?
100%. Like your boys that's huge.
Yeah. The takeover, you pull up to the takeover and 4 guys get out of the car. It's like, I don't know if the mob's really trying. Like they probably would still.
They probably still would, but it's a little different.
Yeah, exactly.
And John Doyle had a good tweet about therapy, which kind of plays into this and is related to this. Where is that?
Yeah, I got it. One sec.
But yeah, all you need to do is really just bounce it off with a legion of trusted men, and then the answers you get, I think 9 out of 10 times will be correct. I think it's that.
He said, this was in response, Mike Solana tweeted these screenshots from the New York Times where basically the New York Times said, what's the impact of therapy? And then the New York Times result was, it's surprisingly difficult to answer. And then Mike Solana said, PSA, if the New York Times is saying evidence for therapy's impact is mixed, the impact is at best case neutral, but probably actually negative. Spend the money on a gym membership. To which John Doyle quote tweeted and said, therapy is fake and gay. Most people use it as a proxy for the authentic relationships they lack in their real lives, so they have to pay someone to listen to them. Imagine thinking some woman with an MA in social work will have better advice than literally any old guy at the bar or a park.
It's a good point.
And it's so true. It's like people need that time to like talk about all their issues, I guess, sometimes. And other people don't want to hear it. If you
don't have someone in your life that you could literally tell anything to, it puts you in a tough spot. Then you have to pay for therapy, and it's so helpful. But it's like all you're really doing is like paying for a close friend who you can tell like, this is really bothering me, or I can't do this at work, or this is giving me struggles. All it is you're paying for a friend.
And so there's two things. You're either paying for a friend and paying for someone to bounce ideas off of, or the doctor is just like a route for you to get pharmaceuticals.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like a two-way go. Either you don't have the friends or the confidants or your parents. You can't talk to someone like trusted about something, or you're just on the lookout for Adderall and Valium and you like how that shit goes,
Yeah.
So, which is obviously bad. And, spend the money on a gym membership. If you start working out and you start exercising, you cannot physically be depressed. And I know, like, if you're depressed, that first run or that first lift or whatever is hard. But the brain chemicals released from you moving your body, it's like we've gotten so far away from what makes us human and natural, and nobody walks anywhere, or, stuff like that. And
it's like depression a lot of times comes from like the years of not working out and the years of not going out in the sun and the years of not interacting with people or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like that's where the depression comes from.
Exactly.
Gym membership goes a long way.
So work out, everybody. If you're down in the dumps,
we're going for a run right after this.
Start running, start doing some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Rapboy and I do runs like multiple times a week now.
We've been trying, and
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Tell him something impressive that you're impressed by my working out.
He's improved almost every time. Let's start with that. How about that?
There was one time where I was like, I kind of almost threw up that espresso.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't really go today. I'm just going to walk. But I'm not a pussy. I just like literally had like a weird, like we were supposed to be off and we worked out anyway. It was an off day. And I was like, I'm just going to walk miles.
And it's funny because, again, that was like I was still running my laps and Fleckus was walking. And I was like, you pussy. I was like kind of yelling at you.
Yeah.
I was like, just run. And he was like, no, I'm sick. Like, I have an issue. But it's like, have somebody to be accountable to. Someone who's going to be like, yo,
run, pussy.
You're quitting. Yeah, you're quitting. What are you quitting? We came all the way out here. So, it's again, support system mixed with exercise equals not fake and gay.
Yeah.
Therapy might equal fake and gay, especially if the New York Times is even raising some doubt on the benefits of it.
Yeah, so basically there's no benefits. All right, let's play the Jordan Peterson clip on how he got people to stop protesting him. This is hilarious.
You know how I stopped being faced by protests at universities when I went to talk there? I hold my talks at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and you know why that's funny? Because none of the bloody protesters will haul themselves out of bed to come and, agitate about the magical super Nazi because it's 8 in the morning.
Yeah, so when it's 8 in the morning, he's not a Nazi anymore. Or
Yeah.
Nazis aren't that important.
Yeah, exactly. It's early. Let the fascists take their ground today. We'll get them at 11 a.m.
Exactly. But if they were really a Nazi, it's like 2 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m. Whenever they're here, we got to get them out.
And I think, this clip has been viral on social media. It's pretty funny. We just wanted to bring it up. And, a lot of times there's an extremely simple solution to some of the stuff that is undesirable in society, right? So, a convenience store with homeless people loitering around, just playing dun, 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 like classic music blaring on their speakers. And it's they don't sleep here anymore. We haven't had a customer complain or be bothered in months since we started playing annoying classic music. Someone who goes into the store hears it for 2 seconds, they don't care, and then they come out. But the homeless bum, the street rats,
they can't sleep.
Same thing with putting, if you have a little enclave in your business and then you put a rock or pigeon spikes or these little simple things, these little tricks change something so drastically. And that's why it's so frustrating to see LA or San Francisco or Portland where people have tents and whatever. Because there's just some little lever to pull that no one is willing to pull anymore. And it's ruining lives for the people there, the homeowners.
There could be one thing where it's oh, yeah, you guys can't be on this street. And everyone will pack up and go. And then you can't be on this street. And you guys just keep, you could actually block by block get them out.
100%. And they just don't have the political will to do that. They instead make the little lampshade at the bus station that doesn't even work for $10K. And so it's an exercise in I don't even know what to call it, determinism, how you can determine what is allowed and what's undesirable, and then nobody does it. Jordan Peterson, out of necessity, does it. And his speeches are so packed, and no little rats try to interrupt him anymore because it's 8 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. That's enough to keep the opposition down. All right, let's get into these clips. We have remember that kid, that little black kid from the UK last week?
Yeah.
Who we covered, who went to that random person's house.
Yeah.
And then we found all these other clips of him doing all these really bad stuff. And then he
Do we want to play them or list,
We'll play a couple of them.
Okay.
But basically it's this kid's just a menace out there. He's doing it for TikTok, but he's just harassing people. And then he got his TikTok deleted. Then he got arrested. Or apprehended.
He got arrested, but he's already out.
He's already out.
It's slap on the wrist type stuff.
And he went on Piers Morgan, right?
Yeah.
And Piers Morgan was telling him, you're a piece of shit. Do we have that? Yeah, let's play that.
What justifies this? What's happened to you that makes you think you're justified in doing this?
What do you mean tell me about my life?
Well, you said you know nothing about your life. Tell me about your life.
Because you're trying to get onto me because I'm black. Because I guarantee
Because you're black?
I guarantee if
I don't give a damn about your skin colour.
Really?
No.
Piers,
Why would I care what colour your skin is? I just think you're an idiot.
Oh, thank you. I think you're an idiot too.
That's fine. You're perfectly entitled to.
Yeah, so are you. So
this show's
fine.
called Uncensored. I think you're an idiot for what you've been doing.
Okay.
I also think you're an idiot for playing the race card when no one's mentioned your skin colour.
Really? Okay, you don't have to mention it to...
I don't care about your skin colour, Lizzie. I care about the fact that you've been terrorising all these people for a sustained period of time. I also care about the fact you've only got a tiny fine today. No deterrent to you whatsoever. You don't show any real remorse. You don't really care, do you?
The UK laws are weak, simple as. And that's not, the UK laws are weak, simple as, and that's not my fault.
The UK laws are weak, simple as.
And that's not my fault.
And go ahead.
You go for it.
Well, I was going to say, this kid, it goes along with the theme of people are way dumber than you think. We give this credit to this kid for being a full functioning person. I think he looks like he has fetal alcohol syndrome with his weird slanted eyes, big cheeks, his weird nose. He's got a weird face, right? He goes,
he's Somali or something.
I don't know what he is, but he goes, UK laws are weak, simple as. And it's there's been some murmurs on the right wing, on Twitter, on whatever, for bringing back corporal punishment. And I think this kid is kind of the exact recipient who, if some people just caned him in the back publicly,
Imagine catching him and then just like smacking his ass with like a paddle or something in front of everyone.
Exactly.
He probably wouldn't do it again.
And then if he does it again, you slap him, and he knows every time I do one of these annoying things that's breaking the law, making women feel uncomfortable, just shouting in someone's ear, that's the type of shit he does. It's like, it's brain dead stuff. And it's like, imagine every time he did that, he goes, oh, they're going to hit me again. It's like, that's the kind of like thinker we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
It's not some guy going, well, he doesn't go home and go, well, how did this affect the woman who I made feel uncomfortable? How did this affect the homeowner who thought I was breaking in and had a small child in there? It's just like, oh no, I do bad, then paddle comes out. That's it.
That
guys.
actually,
I mean,
that tracks. That would work for him.
yeah, 100%.
Let's play one of his clips that people haven't really seen. Like maybe the one where he tells the woman, you're my mom or whatever, and then she just freaks out on him.
Which one is that?
Maybe that one.
This is where he comes up to the women and touches their hair.
Yeah, so this is him at a bus stop.
What? I'm gonna show you from over there. I like your hair still. You got some nice hair. It's nice and luscious. I'm perfectly fine.
He says, do you want to die? And he reaches in his pocket and says, do you want to die?
Why are you just smiling at me? I asked him a question, a serious question.
That's good. But he touches the woman's hair and then says, do you want to die? And then reaches in his pocket. And it's like, that's good content, buddy.
Yeah, that's content. Paddle. The paddle's out.
Let's do another one.
We're paddling.
What
you.
other ones do we
Him
have?
in the library, him just yelling in some guy's face.
Yeah,
Look at
let's
this.
do that one.
Let me get some of that.
And he has to, the white guy has to pretend to like, oh, nice. Like, you can't just, imagine it was New York in the 80s, he's fucking shoved. Get the fuck away.
That's a paddling. You do that, that's a paddling is the new phrase. I mean, you know, there's nothing, he goes, UK laws are weak. So it's like these criminals, these dumb people, they're too low IQ to stand trial for a murder charge, right? Like we talked about in the episode, but they're smart enough to know how to fuck with people. So it's like, you can't have it both ways. That's a paddling. That's my stance.
Did you see there's another one in Japan? There was a guy who tried it.
Yeah, this was a streamer in Japan who was just
kind of doing the same thing, and the Japanese guys weren't having it. It was an American guy in Japan.
Yeah, Hiroshima? You know Hiroshima? Nagasaki? You know why you do this? Pearl Harbor? Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Yes, man, nigga. Yes, Hiroshima.
And then we'll skip. He causes a scene for like a long ass time
for like 5 minutes
on the subway in Japan, where their culture doesn't put up with any of this.
Yeah.
Some American guy comes up and confronts him.
You're from America.
Yeah, you're being obnoxious.
You know what we do to you?
What do you do?
We will do again.
Do what?
Hiroshima, Nagasaki. You understand?
Do you think I'm Japanese?
Where are you from?
I'm from America.
Where are you from? What's your ethnicity?
Texas, buddy.
Texas, buddy.
I'm Korean.
Then sit down, brother.
Why don't you sit your ass?
Korean War, you know what happened to you.
All right.
Texas, buddy. I like that guy, but that's like standing. They're allowed to probably stand up to the people on the subway in Japan.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Big difference.
And nobody knows what he's saying. Nobody cares. It's just some idiot looking for attention. But, like, I don't know, man. It's unbelievable that anybody would think that behavior is, like, something that'll get clicks and streams.
It's such lowbrow content.
Lowbrow content, and then imagine the lowbrow audience who goes, oh yeah, he's streaming, he's yelling Nagasaki and Hiroshima in Japan. It's like crazy to me what kind of mouth breathers are listening to this content. Yeah. There's nothing to learn, there's no education, there's no current events to it, there's no spin.
And the only talent that the streamer has is they're just completely shameless and have no...
Exactly.
Like, that's your talent, is like, oh, I'll go say Nagasaki, Hiroshima to Japanese people.
Not caring, shameless, which also relates to intelligence, I believe, you know?
100%. If you think that's funny, then you're Stu. Yeah. Let's do the Baseball Pros National Anthem prank. I never knew this. This is actually hilarious. When I saw this, I knew it would be in the show.
This is now illegal in baseball because MLB players have started playing a game during the national anthem, where two players stand for the anthem, then continue to stand after the anthem is over. Two players compete on who can stand on the field the longest. This results in a standoff that lasts minutes. confuse umpires, angry umpires, and usually ends when the umpire finally gets pissed enough to scare someone to break. But this weekend, an umpire finally had enough. Cutter Crawford and Matt Strom were in a battle so long that the pitcher had already finished warming up. The umpire not only made them stop, he immediately ejected them both from the game before it even started. Both these
That's
pitchers
good old American
were
fun.
fine.
Yeah.
You stand out until
That's
you
the
get thrown
mischief.
out.
You're not hurting anybody. You mildly annoy the umpire. You
And
know?
they're confused, like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah. And it's a standoff. It's a bit. And then there's Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and screaming in a guy's face and telling a girl you're going to beat her. So
Yeah. You
it's
wanna
like
die?
There's mischief and then there's menace. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
Mischief and menace.
All right, that's pretty good. Let's end it on this. This is something that people should know. I never knew this. I saw this video about gymnastics and what they do when the equipment fails. Something you don't usually see.
What happens if there's an equipment malfunction during a competition? Although this is pretty rare, it does happen, and the judges and athletes need to be prepared in the case of a malfunction. However, most malfunctions don't look like this. They actually happen with grips, which are the leather glove-like devices that gymnasts use on their hands to hold onto the equipment. Grips can sometimes rip or snap, which cause a gymnast to slip. If this does happen, the judge has to inspect the grip, make sure that it did malfunction, and if so, the athlete gets the opportunity to compete again. This is why it's important for gymnasts to replace their grips often and to bring backup grips to a meet. But if it is the apparatus itself that malfunctions, it causes a whole bunch of other issues. Assuming that there is replacement equipment, which sometimes there's not, it takes forever to replace. This can really slow down a meet, causing the athletes to get cold. Not only that, but they also have to get used to the new equipment on the fly. This can be especially difficult when the replacement equipment isn't properly broken in. But in both cases of equipment malfunction, the athlete gets to restart their routine.
Jesus! The whole thing went down, and it's like that. There should be no equipment malfunctions like that.
That's what I'm saying. You're already doing like one of the riskiest sports there is. I don't know why I did that. It is a sport.
It's a real sport. Yeah.
But you're already doing one of the riskiest things there is, and then there's just blowout chances. Which, knowing you know about blowout risk.
Yeah, on the rings and stuff.
Yeah, you know about the rings.
Uneven bars, when I do like the double flip, whatever, it's high risk.
Absolutely.
All right, last clip.
Okay.
That White Lives Matter group. That's Ron DeSantis.
Oh yeah, let's see what the DeSantis supporters.
This is like
are.
the biggest setup ever.
I know.
Completely fake.
Fed operation.
Yeah, Fed operation times a million.
Make white babies. Thanks, DeSantis, for helping Whitey.
When you're home for White Lives Matter, and don't forget to vote for Ron DeSantis. Because he loves
What a
White
piece
Lives
of shit, you guys!
White Lives Matter. Don't forget to vote for Ron DeSantis.
DeSantis is like, what?
It's a complete setup. Do you think those are Democrats?
I think Feds, Democrats, I don't really know, but it's like four guys on a corner in Winter Park, Florida. It's like, what are you doing other than waiting for someone to catch you on social media?
And then you have like all the Nazi stuff. It's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, another bonus land in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. We really appreciate it.
DeSantis is like, what?
It's a complete set operation times a million.
Make white babies. Thanks, DeSantis, for helping Whitey.
When you're home for White Lives Matter, and don't forget to vote for Ron DeSantis. Because he loves
What a
White
piece
Lives
of shit, you guys!
White Lives Matter. Don't forget to vote for Ron DeSantis.
DeSantis is like, what?
It's a complete setup. Do you think those are Democrats?
I think Feds, Democrats, I don't really know, but it's like four guys on a corner in Winter Park, Florida. It's like, what are you doing other than waiting for someone to catch you on social media?
And then you have like all the Nazi stuff. It's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, another bonus land in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you're on the new Pulse Plus platform. If you're not, you're still thinking about it, you'll have all of June to figure it out, but eventually we will be on Pulse Plus only, and that's where the show is growing to. We want to grow with you. We don't want to leave anyone behind. If it's too expensive, you're not getting enough value, you think, I understand. You don't like the content that much. You don't like me that much.
It's a business decision. It's an
okay.
economic decision.
It's okay. But if you want to grow with us and continue to support us and love us like we love you, please go to FuckUsTalks.com and get transferred over and cancel your Patreons. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at the next one.
Frozen waffles. This is bad.
It don't taste good.
She's in a dark place.
She misses Dad. Don't you?
Of course. No. A little bit crispy, but no thanks. Maple syrup won't hide. Thanks, Mom. No. Yeah, I've got to go. I have this like study thing before school. See ya. Oh.
Why can't Dad come home?
He just needs some time to take care of some things. And we agreed that it'd be best to do them while he was living with your Auntie Nick. Don't eat that. How about some of these on the way to school?
Sure.
An esteemed NSA Deputy Director, a man of honor and dignity. Robert Vance died as he lived. In service of our great country, uncovering a domestic terror cell's bomb-making operation in Redwood. Our heartfelt condolences to Estelle and the Vance children, as well as Bobby's friends. Bobby wasn't